Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for Steven Seagull. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Cody.
Cody, what did we watch?
We watched The Shallows, and I kid you not, this is the first time I've been able to come up with the title on command. Every time I think about it, I'm like, what are we watching today? Okay, hold on. It's the Blake Lively one. It's the Shark. Okay, it's the Deep 42. Which one? Hold on. And I have to look it up. I had to look it up today. I went to IMDb, Blake Lively, went to filmography, and like, okay, that's it. The Shallows. Nailed it. Oh, we watched The Shallows. Good, sir.
And what a ride, Cody, right? What a thrill ride of adventure.
Let me tell you, looking up this movie, extra hard since the A Star is Born came out. Because when you Google Shallows, it's just 50 videos of Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper smooching over a piano. That's all it is. That's all you get.
This is another one of the movies where I seem to have, I've had no issue fighting it, but you seem to really be fighting the system. And
I am.
You know,
it's hard out here.
It was fine. It was fine finding it for me. And you know, it's no one wants to see, you know, you just didn't want to watch Blake Lively in a bikini. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that made this movie such a success, that's where you were like, that's where I draw the line, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had to do, I had to watch Clean Flicks version. Went to Bid Angel. I just had to blur out.
The whole screen was blurred the whole time.
All of Blake Lively from the chin down. Just blurred. You got to keep it clean, folks.
Yeah. It's really an audio play for you then, wasn't it? A lot of grunting.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of swishing.
It was a lot of splashing also. There were some seagull sounds. I think I got the gist. I think I know what happened.
Yeah. But you didn't get the real emotion of Steven Seagal's performance. All right.
I don't know if you looked at the trivia for this movie. I'm just going to tease it right now. I got fun facts about Steven Seagal. I'm excited to tell you about it.
All right. I'm excited to hear about it. But Cody, I'm going to, you know me, you know, I'm the master of explaining the movies. So I'm going to do it. I'm telling you what this movie's about right now.
Okay.
Blake Lively, she's a surfer from Texas. And tell you what, they got surfing in Texas, right? Oh, they got it, but not like they do in Spanish-speaking country X, right? You know? Any Spanish-speaking country, El Santa Maritador, all right? That's where she goes to find the...
El Santa Maritador?
Yes, that's where she goes. She's there. She's like, oh, I'm sad, and I'm a student, and I don't know if it's worth studenting anymore because of the sadness, and I'm going to surf away my problems. But, whoo, doggy, there's a shark, and she makes some bad decisions, and she gets sharked. And we watched it.
Yeah, we absolutely did. Tyler, I was going to tell you exactly where this movie took place. I couldn't find it. I was very confused. Even in the trivia, it was like they were going to film in Mexico, but then they were like, no, we're not going to do it. So then they were like, Texas sounds good, but they couldn't get the permits. Like, so where'd they film? Hold on. I'm very confused now. I know where they filmed. I do not know where the movie took place. So it's great. But you're right. Spanish speaking somewhere.
Yeah. What was it? What is the country I said?
El Santa Maritador? Is that right?
Yes. El Santa Maritador, the classic Spanish-speaking country.
It's sort of like the Monaco of Central and South America, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going for. Yes. Hold on, Cody. Let me. You know, I just got to sell all my stuff in my Shop Titans game. You know how it goes. You know, don't mind.
I don't know what any of that. Cody, I don't know what any of that means.
Cody, the Tower of Titans event is going right now. Don't you understand? Anyway, Cody, stay focused on the Shallows, okay? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? That's the question.
I didn't. What are we going first? Am I telling you my first take?
Did you not even say your first take yet? Gosh,
no,
we got to speed this up. This is a short podcast, Cody.
I don't know. What is your first take? I got confused. Look, I liked it all right. I didn't love it. It was, it was all right. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too good. I'm kind of neutral. You're going to have to sway me.
I'm going to have to sway you. Oh,
right? Okay. I don't know. You loved this movie, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. The nonstop thrill ride of adventure. That's the blurb they're going to put on the VHS for me. All right.
All right.
Is that it? Yeah, nothing else?
Yeah. Nah, I got nothing else.
Oh, okay. Cody, let's dive into it, all right? Get on my surfboard, all right? Let's jump off this surfboard. Let's mount my mecha shark and let's ride it into Spoiler Town, all right? We're in it. We're in the shallows of Spoiler Town Bay, being hunted by the mecha shark that we rode in here, okay? He's gone sentient. He's hunting us. He wants blood, Cody.
Imagine Shark Week in 50 years when it's just AI sharks. They're taking over the world. It'll be like Terminator, but with sharks.
There is a documentary called Mecha Shark where they make a robot shark to learn more about sharks or something. And I want to watch it, but I never do it. Instead, I look up Ancient Aliens. All right. And I start that. And I'm like, Cody, look, the aliens, they're here. They're the sharks, all right? The sharks, they want you to think they're just these dumb puppies of the ocean, but they're not. They're vicious predators that are smarter than we could ever think of, right? Smarter than we can ever dream of being. They have the space flight, all right?
Speaking of Ancient Aliens, I saw a meme today, and it was Marvel meme. It said Eternals, and it's like, oh, all religion stems from ancient aliens, that are giving us their folklore, and everything is based off that. It's like Thor, Love, and Thunder. All the gods are real. Every one of them.
Yeah.
I like the differing theologies.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you want to go first?
You want me to go first? I mean, I can go first.
Asked, do you want to go first?
Do you want to go first? I mean, I can go.
I don't know.
Has your monster hit your gullet yet? Are you feeling it?
I don't know. It's one of those days. I took a nap that was way too long, and it crushed me.
I'll go first. I'll do the thing that I never do first, and I'll pull up my clock here so I can time myself, and then I'll go first. Tell me when you're ready, Cody, and I'll hit the time. Okay, here we go. Cody, let me tell you about this. This girl is asking to get kidnapped. She's here. It's her best friend. They go out. They get schwasty pants. Her friend abandons her. Okay, and what kind of both of she's like, her friend that she was supposed to meet with. I'll tell you, we're in the shallows. We're on a tiny rock here. Mecha Shark is coming for blood. Before I die, here's what I want everybody to know. Her friend definitely got kidnapped. All right, her friend is dead or owned by someone somewhere else in the world. A Russian oligarch has her in the basement. All right, facts. All right, her friend is gone. Her friend died or was trafficked. That cute boy they met at the bar, he ain't so cute now, all right? I've seen Taken. I've seen Liam Neeson's Scale Offense, all right? We all know what happens when you meet the cute boys in a foreign country, okay? But then she's out there with what's-his-face who won't tell her the name of the beach. Everybody's threatening to kill her if they tell her, all right? And in the trailer, they say it's paradise, all right? That's what they say. They're like, what's the name? She's like, what's the name? And they're like, paradise. In the movie, they're like, I'll murder you if I tell you. I will slit your throat and throw you to the sharks. And I was like, that's aggressive, but whatever, okay? All right, they're out there, they're surfing, The guy's like, how are you getting back? She says Uber. And he said, who's Uber? Like, he doesn't know what Uber is. What is this? Saudi Arabia, Uzbekistan? Come on, man. Like, you know what Uber is, You're from South St. Whatever, all right, whatever country I made up, all right, that's where you're from, you're the top tech exporter in the world in my head canon, things, okay? They're out, but she's out there, she makes stupid decisions throughout, so that's just the beginning of it, all right? Right? So she's out there, her friend's like, I'm hungover. I don't feel well. She's like, you know what is the best fix for that? Come jump in the shark infested ocean with me. All right. Like an idiot. All right. So she goes out there. There's these two guys that she's like, what if they kidnap and kill me? And those two guys are like, come over here. And she's like, nah. And then 2 seconds later, where is she? She's over there with the two dudes that she's like, what if they kidnap me? And then they're like going away. And she's like, don't steal my stuff. They were never going to steal her stuff. They don't want her crappy stuff. They've got the new iPhone. They don't want her crappy Android phone. All right. Then they're going, they go off and they're gone. And what happens? She gets bit by a shark like she deserves. All right. Because she judged foreigners. All right. That's what happens when you judge foreigners. You get bit by a shark seeking revenge for a hook in his mouth. Okay. But then she flags down a drunk dude that passed out on the beach. Who's definitely going to steal all of her stuff like an idiot. But the point is, Cody, this shark out here, she swims out to a shark. Cody, if you are out surfing and you encounter a bloated, rotting whale carcass filling the ocean with its oils, its gullet, if it dies in much the same way that you seem to be about to, you're going down, you're coughing, Cody is dying. The shark got him. The sharks are coming for Cody now. Shark Fest, Shark Week, it's gotten him. It's happening. Cody's down. He's down for the count. All right. Point is, if you find a bloated whale carcass, don't be like, what's this? And go up and poke it. Because you know what loves the whale carcasses? Sharks. That's what they love. They love the whale carcasses. You touch that whale carcass, she gets on top of it. And I'm like, at this point, it's not even like no shark's going to come after you when the whale carcass is. It's like now you smell like a chunk of dead whale. And so, yeah, guess what a shark wants? A nice human bite-sized piece of floating dead whale. That's what they love. That's what they're all about. So they're coming for you with a vengeance. Like you are the guys from Jaws, and this is the son of Jaws, and he is coming for your children. All right. He's coming like got the vendetta. All right. Coming through. He's busting into your underground lair. He's eating all your people. That's what's happening right now. Okay. My point, it's like at no point, it's like a horror movie, right? Where she makes the worst decisions at all times, but there's no shed for her to run into to get massacred by the chainsaw wielding guy, right? So she just climbs on top of a whale, then rakes herself across coral like 85 times, then swims into a jellyfish. And it's like, lady, where is Ryan Reynolds to save you? All right, bring in Ryan. Ryan must have been like, Blake, you got to stop. All right, you got to stop, sweetie. You got to stop with this, right? You know what I'm saying? This Ryan Reynolds, he's a good boy. He's going to come in. He's going to take her away from all this, Cody. That's what's going to happen. But Cody?
Tyler, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to go right into my rant. Ryan Reynolds is not coming for her because canonically, while this movie is happening, while Blake Lively is on the rock in the shallows, Ryan Reynolds is buried in a coffin in the movie Buried, where it's him in a coffin. All right. That is what is happening. Okay. They're happening at the same time. They both exit these scenarios. They survive, presumably. I haven't seen the other movie. And they meet in a survivor support group. All right. That's how they get together. That's what you don't understand. Let's talk about the beach. I was so... Look, her decisions were bad, yes, but of all of the swimming towards the whale is bad for so many reasons. Like you highlighted, obviously a shark, a giant, rotting, bloody, oily whale. That's like cartoons and cereal on a Saturday morning for a child. It's like, no, this is where the sharks are headed. Number two, that's gross. All right. It's not even, you don't even have to get close to be like, oh, there's a bunch of seagulls on a carcass. It smells awful. Why would you get within 50 yards of that thing? That's what I'm saying. Why did she? It was gross. It's not just dangerous. It's icky. She's gross. That's what I learned. All right. Blake Lively is gross because of this movie. She wanted to get all up in the whale carcass. You know what? Let's talk about Uber. Okay. We're all like, Uber, right? You do it, you call it, they come, they get you, they charge you a lot of money. It's great. I've been to Mexico, all right? I have been there. And you know what? There is no Uber in Acapulco, all right? There's no Uber in this place. It's not real, okay? She was never going to make it back. All right. Look, if I made this movie for myself, it would be a shark movie trailer. It'd be all about that. And then actually she just gets kidnapped on her way to the beach. All right. That's what this movie should have been. Ryan Reynolds should have this should have been taken. This movie should have been taken. And instead it's about a dumb shark. Okay. Let me tell you, here's what this movie got right. No one wants to talk about this. Number 1, white girl Spanish. This was peak white girl Spanish. All right. I've heard some white girls speak some Spanish in my day. They did a great job. All right. This is the most accurate gringa Spanish I've ever heard in my life. I was very impressed with it. All right. They did their research. I appreciate that. We got some crack action in the movie. She adjusts her bathing suit and I was like, this is too much. All right. We got it. This is not appropriate. I shielded my eyes because I'm a good boy, as we established. Okay. I've never been surfing. Okay. I understand that you wear a wetsuit to keep you warm. All right. Because you go surf in some places and it's cold. Would you wear a wetsuit I guess maybe for like a rash guard kind of thing, I guess. What good does just the shirt do? Wouldn't you wear a whole suit? If you need the top, why not take the bottom? If you surf, can you tweet me at Opinion Havers? Because I'm not going to Google it. We all know this. Why just the shirt? Just a shirt. I don't get it. All right. You gotta do the pants too. Okay. I didn't like the slow-mo in the movie. All right. I'm just going to say it. I did it. I said it. Deal with it. Number 2, deep fake Blake face. I wasn't ready for it. All right. Did you notice it? Did you clock it? She's surfing and you're like, Blake Lively's good as that's not Blake Lively's face. And you can see that they have photoshopped Blake Lively's face onto the surfer's face. And you say, no, it was just shot in a weird angle. I did the research. All right. They admitted it. Blake did none of the surfing. She did all the other stunts. And they used face swapping technology to put Blake's face on the surfer's face. All right. You didn't clock it. I did. I did a very good job. Okay. Let me tell you, when they get surfing, this is my favorite part of the movie because it looks just like the intro to a surfing video game in like 2008. Like, their hair's flipped in the water and they're diving under the waves and they're surfing. I was like, this is the intro to a video game about surfing. It was great. I loved it. Okay. I didn't clock it in the intro. There's like the little horror intro where it's like, there's part of the board and the guy found the GoPro thing. That's her board. And then when I saw her board, I was like, yeah, she's dead. She's going to die. All right. Oh, the dead whale thing. I found the dead whale note. She's just hanging out by a dead whale. What? I thought she was good at surfing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's following some of the rules,
She's following none of the rules. Maybe
she's following none of the rules.
She's following none of them.
It felt like she's like, look, she's putting her surfboard together. She's waxing her surfboard. She knows what she's doing. Okay. She told her friend where she's going, except that she doesn't know the name of the beach. So it doesn't even matter that her drunk friend doesn't know the name of the whatever. She was never getting help. Okay. When she got on the whale, I wrote, I'm not ready for a whole movie on a dead whale. I'm not prepared. I thought we were going to be on a rock of some sort. I'm not prepared to have her hanging out on a rotting whale. When she sticks her hand in the handhold of the whale, the little hole, she puts her hand in it. Oh, I couldn't do it. That should have been the horror movie, was just her trying to stay on the whale. And it just gets grosser and grosser as more chunks are falling off the whale. And I was just confused. If you're a shark and you got a whole whale of food, are you going to be going for the surfers? Or are you going to be like, no, I got food right here. Or I guess she said, I'm in the feeding territory. So it's like she's a threat to the food supply. Is that the gist?
I mean, here's the thing. If you jump into the water next to a dead whale when the sharks are eating, they're going to assume you're either part of the food or another like thing. But I mean, like lots of sharks will eat off the same whale and they won't kill each other. So I think it's more like it's like, oh, you're there. They're in eating mode. You might get bit. But also like National Geographic and like Planet Earth people dive to film the sharks all the time. And they're like, as long as you're like careful and make it clear, like, I'm not food and I'm not here to mess with your food. They're like, cool. I'm going to continue eating this rotten thing that will feed me for like a month, you know? Like they're very cool about it, is what I'm saying. Sharks are like, you know, not very. Also, you know, if you punch a shark in the face, there's a reason where they're like, oh, if you punch them, they'll leave you alone. It's like because the shark was going to be like, all right, well, I might lose an eye trying to eat you. I'm just going to go eat something that's not going to take out my eye. They don't like losing their eyes, Cody.
Yeah. I've heard that about sharks.
They hate it. All right. It's like their least favorite thing to do. So the thing is, this thing's very much like the Jaws shark. This is not a real shark. This is like this shark knows them. It knows her name.
I need to do some shark research. I keep watching these shark movies and I'm like, I know that these are movies, you know, and so there's not that much realism. Like, right, it's this shark is a serial killer, and that's the premise we're all going to accept to make a fun movie.
Yeah,
but I do want to know, like, what the truth is. You know, I got another note for you.
Yeah,
is the shark driving the whale?
Yes.
At one point. Okay, so the shark does like move the whale at one point.
Yeah. The shark is also about the same size as a humpback whale at that point, and then is much smaller than the whale later on. So, you know, just to give you a scope of the whale. I remember when this movie was coming out. Let me answer me this. Do you remember this part? Okay. When this movie was coming out, do you remember it being a big deal about the shark? And like they like promoted the shark as like a thing that they were very proud of. Actor. Where like the shark was 100% CG and it was incredible, like a feat.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
And it looks like a bad CG shark, right?
Yeah. I didn't think the CG was great in the movie,
but I remember that being part of the marketing material.
Big draw. They're like, look, we really nailed this shark.
Yeah. And really I got to tell you, I don't think they nailed it even. And everybody, you might be like, well, it's 2014 or whatever when the movie came out. 2016, 2018? I don't know. Years ago. But I don't think it looked good by the standards of that time is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lower budget movie. I mean, I guess it's impressive if they did it on a low budget. I did read that the crew that worked on the shark watched like every Shark Week thing they could find. Just to make it accurate. And they're like, oh, it'll be a female shark because they're more aggressive, more protective, and they're bigger, and they're more likely to have scars and yada, yada, yada. So they really, look, they worked hard on it. And no one can ever take that away from them.
Yeah. I mean, nobody can, you know. They got some awards and stuff. So I guess that's, you know, a good time for everybody involved.
I got a note. I said, give that bird a name. When does she name it? Or is it just credited as such?
When the only time she says it, when she doesn't call it buddy, is when she's filming on the GoPro and she calls it, I got my little buddy here, Steven Seagull.
Is that towards the end? Okay. Yeah. Or it's a little later at least. Okay. Because that's what, when she was calling a buddy, I was like, you know what? How dare you? If I was stuck on this rock for more than 5 minutes with this bird, I would have the dignity to give it a name.
I just wanted the bird to be like, I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your guy friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think this note is for the drunk guy. Where did he come from is my question. Because it seems like everyone else is taking vehicles to get to the beach. And this man just like stumbles along the beach out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, he was passed out at first, so he seemed to have entered the beach without anybody noticing, which is very funny because the surfers are very much like, oh, hey, this is like our secret beach. How did you find out about it? And she's like, this is my mom was pregnant and surfed with me or whatever. And then then there's just a drunk dude passing out on their super secret, secluded beach that they'll kill you. I mean, this is very much like, you know, this could very easily be like reshoot like 3 scenes, and the horror part is like these 3 guys, the guy that takes her there and the 2 surfers killing her for even knowing the beach exists, you know? Like it's a cult
that would be
thing,
cool. Yeah.
right? But no, instead we have the shark. The shark that I like how she says there's one line where she's like, "Oh, someone got you." As though it's like, are you trying to set up like this shark has a vendetta against people because it's got a hook in its mouth? And then the hook comes out very fast. All right.
It does. I got questions. Gangrene. How quick does that happen?
Pretty quick, I think.
Okay.
If you're not like treated, I'll look it up. You know, while you've come up with your more questions, just tearing this movie apart, I will look up how fast does gangrene set in.
Here's my thing. She gets under the water. She's like, "Oh, there's jellyfish. Jellyfish sting. I can swim through the jellyfish or something, and the shark won't get." She does not make a lot of progress through those jellyfish. I was like, I don't think this was a great idea. Because she is taking her time getting through those jellyfish. I was like, if this was me swimming for my life, I would spend less time looking back at the shark to see if the jellyfish are going to get the shark or not. It just seemed like I would have taken the straight shot, over diving 20 feet deep beneath the jellyfish. I didn't get it. All right. I didn't get the draw of it. And my biggest question is just, where is this buoy? Because every time it seems like it's further or it's closer or something. I could not nail down because at one point you're like, that buoy is 25 feet away and there's no way she's not going to make it there. And at other points, it's like she's been swimming for a minute and the buoy is like half mile out,
Yeah, the
buoy's close to shore, far. Because at one point I was like, that buoy is as far as the shore is. Why don't you just swim to the shore? Then you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's very much a horror movie decision to swim to the buoy, But like,
yeah,
the buoy is the safe decision every time. Nothing bad can happen on the buoy. That's all I know. Okay.
Let me tell you. I don't know a lot about buoys. I feel like that's a pretty big buoy. I also feel like that buoy was all over. That buoy was like the mechanical riding bull of buoys. We're just like, all right, you're strapped in. We're going for a ride,
Yeah. Which I know like some buoys can be like that because you watch some of these documentaries, you know me, I like the ocean documentaries, and you see like some dudes where they have to hop on one and they're like, yeah, some of these, it's like, yeah, no, they're rock solid. And some of them, it's like you got to hook on and hold on for dear life because it's going to throw you off of it like 20 feet in the air if you don't hold on. So I don't know. It's hard to nail down. This one was old though,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. All buoys look like they're 1,000 years old and they're really only like a year old. So who knows?
I hear that.
It's the salt in the water, Cody. It rusts everything. It's coarse and gets everywhere.
I hate buoys.
Yeah. For all of our British listeners, we're talking about boys, right? Isn't that how they say buoy? They say boy.
Buoys.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
They're like, why do you pronounce it buoy? It's pronounced boy. I'm like, oh, I don't like calling it a boy. That seems weird, right? Let me just call up on that little boy over there. That's not what you want to say. You can't say that.
I mounted the boy, threw me right off.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know what? I'll give her credit. I did not foresee the buoy being giving her the rocket propeller force to, what did she do? Did she use it to take out the shark and she blew up the whale with the flare? I don't know. I ran out of notes after how far is this buoy, but
yeah, so she shot the whale oil, right? And that caught the shark on fire, which then she tied herself, which at first she just tied herself to the chain. And I was like, how is that going to help her get away from this shark? This chain weighs like 10,000 pounds, right? It's like, come on, man. But then she unstraps her tourniquet, right? And then it drags her down. And then she dodges the spikes on the anchor. And the shark eats it. All right. Literally eats that anchor, which then in the shot where it eats that anchor, it is the biggest it is in the entire movie. And it's like, this is straight up like the Meg size shark. All right. This is like big enough to swallow the rock whole. All right. Or is it Jason Statham? I don't know who's in
Jason
the Meg.
Statham's in that movie.
Jason Statham in the Meg. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Like one day we'll watch that one and I'll be like, the shark from The Shallows was bigger. All right.
I mean, the Meg has got to be next on the list.
She pulls out the shark tooth,
tomato score.
and it's like the size of a card, like a playing card, right? It's humongous. It's the biggest freaking shark tooth ever.
I was so confused. I was like, "What is that? Is that a giant piece of glass?" It took me a minute to figure out.
You thought it was like
shark
foam that's inside the helmet, right? Because that's what I thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, shark tooth.
Sure, why not? You know.
Yeah.
You know, the important thing is that she makes it, and then her dad is nice to her, and she takes her sister to surf.
Yeah, and she's a doctor now.
Oh, yeah, because she wasn't sure if she wanted a doctor.
And let's just say, I've met a lot of people in medical school, all right? The audacity to be a year away from going from I'm in medical school to being a doctor. To being 1 year away and saying, nah. I can't even imagine. Like, I've seen some people go through some stuff. And they're like, I only have 4.5 years left. I can't give up now. I've been in school for 25 years or whatever. You know how long. You know how it goes.
I mean, you pay so much money for med school. I feel like once you start, there's I don't know. Maybe we'll drop out the
I did have somebody once tell me that, they're like, we were asked them if they were going to finish. And they're like, yeah, you can't really stop. If you stop, I'd just be sitting here with a house worth of debt and no medical degree.
And it's like $200K if you're going to, it's a lot. And you know what helps paying off $200,000 worth of debt? Having a job that pays $200,000. So being a doctor is a good choice at that point. If you've already taken the debt on.
Yeah, just dig deeper, Like if you're in debt and you're going to medical school, just dig deeper, just take out more. Be like that same person. Go out and buy yourself a Lexus with your student loans, Who's going to stop you,
Nobody.
You'll make, you might take home $80,000 one day, all right?
Man. That's about it.
Yeah.
For my run through the movie. I'll say I just got a couple of trivia facts. I will say, here's the thing. Whenever I see Blake Lively in a movie, which is not often, I'm like, oh, she's pretty good. And I think she's good at dialogue, especially when she's in the talking scenes. I'm like, oh, she's pretty good at this. Which makes sense. She was in like 6 seasons of Gossip Girl or whatever. And unfortunately, she doesn't get to talk to a lot of people in this movie because she spends an hour and 20 minutes fighting a shark. But she's good. I think she's a good actor. It's like probably better than, I don't know. She's in an awkward spot because she was a huge TV star. Now she's been in like a handful of movies, like here and there and here and there. So anyway, I thought she was pretty good. I just didn't think, it's a tough role to do. It was fine enough. It was good enough. There was a shark in it. I could have had it a little scarier. To be honest, there was like one jump scare maybe where I was like, oh, a little spooky. But for the most part, I was just mad about her relationship with Steven Seagull. Is that fair?
But she saves him and he makes it, Cody.
That's true. I did appreciate that.
When she sends him off and she's like, come here, you're going to make it. Tiffany had a moment where she's like, I swear if this seagull dies. And I was like,
my thought, I didn't write this down. I was immediately like, all right, injured seagull. At what point do you throw the seagull in the water so that you can swim for the buoy or for the shore? I was like, I'm not ready for her to kill this bird, like kill it and eat it. Or that was my thought. I was like, the bird's going to be the bait. Oh no.
Yeah, she went Steven. To like, I have to hunt for sustenance real fast. It's like, you've been out there a day. Even Bear Grylls, they're like, you need to kill something right now because we got to check back into the hotel like right now. Doesn't kill something that fast, okay?
Yeah.
But, give it a few minutes at least.
The crab she kills is CG, but the crab she holds up to eat was a real crab. They're like, we didn't have the heart to hurt one. but we found some dead ones on the beach that made her like hold it up. And so
yeah,
it was real gross face.
I saw that and I was like, we couldn't kill one. So we just found ones that died naturally and then made hurt. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's more gross than if I like killed a fresh crab and went to eat it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a dead crab. We don't know what killed it. Probably some kind of parasite that'll eat your brain or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So overall, you loved the movies, what you're saying.
It's fine. It's all right. It'll do, I guess, for a shark movie. I didn't, it was all right.
Would you say that you're ready to give it a letter grade?
I'm pretty close to ready. I don't know if you want me to give my trivia or if you want to.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know if you had more trivia. Give me more
Just
trivia if you got it. Give it to me.
I saw it somewhere that Blake Lively was pregnant with their second child during filming, which is wild. They also talked about 10% of the movie was shot on location in Australia. And then the rest was all just shot in giant tanks with blue screens and stuff to do the effects. There were, this is what everyone's been waiting for. And the only reason anyone has stuck around through all of our ranting and rambling was to hear about the seagulls. So there were 3 seagulls used to portray Steven Seagull. And at one point they're like, we got to do a CG seagull. We won't get one to do anything. But Blake was able to feed some seagulls on the beach. And they're like, all right, well, she does all right with the bird. Maybe we can do it. So there were 3 different bird actors used, one of whom was 30 years old. They estimated to be 30 years old. But like, yeah. One of these seagulls was definitely 15 to 20 years old, and I think it looked to be like 30. I was like, that's not true. There's no world in which this is true. There was a squawky one, there was the main one, and then there was a third one, the old one. So kind of fun, but yeah, no, it's a real bird that apparently does a lot of acting.
Yeah, Sully, right? He was
Sully was his name. That's right. Yeah, Sully was the main one.
Main one.
And my final fun fact on the beach. They were only allowed a certain number of vehicles on the beach. So most of the crew had to ride bikes to get there, and they had to film in the morning. So they had to ride bikes in the dark. Furthermore, there were like a giant number of mutton birds, which are like an endangered species of birds that were nesting there. So we had to ride our bikes in the dark through nesting mutton birds, and we weren't allowed to hurt any of them because they're protected. So it's like they're super fast birds in the air and they look like drunken idiots when they're walking on the ground. So they were just like, it's super easy to hit one of them. So I thought that was just a really funny constraint. It's like, all right, we're filming a movie. Great. Sounds good. Get on your bike. What? It's 5 a.m. Cool. Don't hit any birds. By the way, there's like 20,000 of them. So
yeah,
pretty fun.
Yeah. It sounds like they had a fun time, a nice vacation to South Saint something or other.
Yeah. Queensland, New South Wales.
No, I was talking about my fictional Spanish speaking country.
El Santa
Marina or something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Santa Marina or something like that.
Yeah.
So, Tyler, are you going to drop your grade on this movie? What'd you give it?
I'll give it a C-.
All right. I'll give it hard to C. I'll give it a C.
Ooh, you loved
a C for it probably deserves a C-. I don't. I'll give it a C for effort and for the Gringa Spanish because they did nail it.
They nailed it. They did, and they even got the, right when it was at its height of popularity, you got the talk into your phone and have it translate for you when you're, 20 minutes of conversational Spanish runs out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Which I've heard here. Okay, let me ask you this real quick, Cody. As a Spanish speaker yourself,
C,
a native, right, if you will.
Native.
if you will claim that, all right.
I will not. I mean, I am from El Santa Marina, but yes.
I've heard from people, they're like, it's like, I've heard mixed things about the talking into your phone, right? To be like, it's kind of like insulting almost. And I'm just like, I was like, man, that'd be kind of like insulting. And then I thought to myself, if somebody that like didn't speak English was like, hey, I need to get somewhere, pulled out their phone, spoke into it, and then it told me what they said in like Spanish in English, I would not be like, first off, sir, how dare you?
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, awesome. All right, now I know what you're saying. So I'm just like, okay, so the people that find it offensive are racist, right? Can we declare that right now?
I would be fine with that. I mean, the politics of translating are, they run deep, let me tell you. And, it's a whole thing because I speak decent enough Spanish, and even if I don't know a word, I can explain my way around whatever I can't say. So, yeah, it gets real awkward, though, because sometimes people are like, oh, you're not a native speaker. Great. Let me use my English. You're like, well, first off, I respect it, but your English is awful. I think we're better off using my Spanish. Like sometimes it can be, you can run into some awkward situations. I don't think anyone will be upset if it was like, hey, look, I'm having trouble communicating. Here's me doing my best. Let me use my phone to help. I don't see any. Yeah. Racism all around. For you, for me, I think we can declare it.
Wait, we're not racist. I'm saying
if
the people
you don't like phone translating, then you're a bad person, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Unequivocally.
Yeah, absolutely. 1,000%. If you're like, how dare you insult me? Then it's like, you're a racist.
And as citizens of El Marino Santador,
Yeah, close enough.
I think we can say that.
Yeah. Cody, here's what I want to do. I want to learn French just so I can go to France. And when I try to speak French and somebody's like, we'll speak English, I can say, no, my French is better than your English. And I'm going to do it to every single French person I encounter. Every time they're like, I speak perfect English, I'm going to say, no, you do not. We will speak French.
All right. Let's take this just a half step further. All right. I need you to learn French. All right. Go to France, spend some time there, perfect. All right. Your French or whatever. Don't even get that good at it. And then I need you to go to Quebec. All right. Go to Montreal. And then as soon as they answer, you're like, I'm sorry, your French is terrible. I lived in France, give them you need to give them the high road. That's what I want. That's the next level, right? Because you're like, yeah, that's not real French. I speak real French, obviously. That's what I want from you. I need you to high road the French with your English, and then I need you to high road the Montreal people with your French. All right?
But I see, here's the problem. I respect the people of Quebec too much. I don't respect the people of France. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I mean, it does take some gall. It's like the confidence of the Quebecan people is impressive. They're like, no, we're doing... Everyone else here is speaking English. We're not changing. We are New France. This is it. We're doing it. And France is like, no, you're not. And they're like, no, we are New France. This is us. We're here. We're doing it. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of, what's the word?
Chutzpah.
Chutzpah. That's right.
There you go. All right. Well, I think I think we've said everything that we need to say on the shallows.
I think you're right. Want to thank you for listening, for tuning in. You can share us with your friends, your enemies, wherever you find podcasts. We are Opinion Havers. We're on social media at Opinion Havers. We drop hot memes and we take requests. Until next time, watch movies
and have opinions.
What's like a French word for like cojones? That's what I was looking for.
I don't think cojones is French.
What's that?
Isn't cojones not French?
It's right, but what's like the French,
France hasn't done nothing for anybody ever, all right?